so it might not be what your mom's.
Crap. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
So, as promised, you guys are your characters have, after all the heaviness of last time with all the assassinations and skullduggery, have taken a vacation. And in this vacation, you are at a place called Rose Sand Beach. So called because the sands themselves are basically ground up over time bits of rose quartz. Okay, so you're staying in the Blue Dolphin Hotel.
It's adorable.
Which is a fairly nice place. Y'all can afford it after all your looting and misdemeanoring. And you are in the common room together. It's dawn on the first day of your little jaunt. Illyriel's there with you, and so is Malorus. So starting with the sun hat. Starting with Winnie, and Malorus looks good in his sun hat. He doesn't want to get his nose leather burnt, that. Yeah. So we're gonna start with Winnie. Winnie, what are you doing here you're in this tavern kind of common room area. There is a guy who is wearing a brocade coat and looks like a stereotypical pirate. There's a gnome sitting there fiddling with some sort of weird device, and there is a guy in super big spiky black armor. And he's got little goblin guys that run around and he says.
Interesting collection of people in there.
I want to go talk to the pirate-looking dude.
Okay, you go up to him. What do you say?
I'm just trying to think of. Oh, hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Oh, doing very well. Just coming here with our first day of vacation.
You're very small, miss.
Worst pickup line ever.
And you seem to have a strange collection of folks. He actually looks over Agroth, and he's like, "Is that a Walkman you got there, son?"
How does he know what that is?
Agroth is like playing his guitar in the corner, just kind of looks up at him. What about it?
My name is Jim. You can call me Pirate Jim, but I used to go by Jim O'Halloran. I came from Orange County originally.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I live near the Orange County, god damn it.
Agroth will go over and sit next to him and introduce himself as Tim.
Tim, 'tis a good thing to meet you. He leans over and says, I fell through one of them portal things and wound up here. Been here ever since. Made a life piratin'. Arr.
Agroth tilts his head to the side and kind of mimics the yar and throws a good old arm with it.
All right.
Doing a wink while he was doing that.
Okay. Stormweaver. I need you to make an athletics roll.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
I'm assuming you're eating, right?
I don't know what I was doing, but I will assume
Drinking
that
coffee?
as well.
Are you eating? It's morning. You've
Sure.
got pastry. There's pastries here.
Oh, definitely.
I'm sure there's espresso involved.
Oh, yes.
There's definitely espresso involved.
All right, you try to snatch your pastry. You're grabbing for your pastry, and suddenly, faster than most people can even see, a seagull flies in, grabs the pastry, lands in the rafters, and gives you the stink eye.
He just gives it right back and holds his pastry close to his body. I know seagulls. I live near them. Always hunch over your food.
Feels.
All right, so Aaron, you are there.
Yeah, Aaron's gonna be like very more silent than normal.
Okay. All
And
right.
it's just kind of just like looking around, not knowing what to do.
Okay. You're looking around. Illyriel pets you.
Meow.
All right. So, yeah. So I guess next in the lineup will be Sarix. Sarix, what shape are you wearing right now?
Interesting. Sarex is going to be in a female Baywatch type figure in very beach clothing, sort of like a skirt and
Now
whatnot.
we need
Okay.
a slow motion
So,
scene.
I called
so
it.
Pam Anderson.
Hmm?
Now I'm picturing Pam Anderson. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. So, but 80s Pam Anderson, not now Pam Anderson, or 90s Pam Anderson. So, all right. So, while you're sitting there looking super cute, you notice that the guy in the black armor is looking you over.
It was just a random juggernaut over there.
Sarex is going to wink at him as she takes a very deep swig of their drink.
Ho he claps one of the goblins on the back. Gorslash is going to talk to the girl. Bring us food. The minions run and bring food, and Gorslash stands up and walks over, clunks down next to you. Greetings, I am Gorslash, the Defiler.
Are you putting people from some of your players from some of your old games in here?
No, I'm actually using somebody made up off camera once in here, and I'm just kind of using my imagination to fill in Gorslash what he would be like.
This
So,
is great.
you said Gorslash the Defiler.
Yes.
Oh, and what kind of things do you defile, eh?
Well, actually, he lifts off his helmet. And he's kind of like a skinny, weenie-looking human guy. He's like, oh, things so heavy. I'm here on vacation. Oh, defile this, defile that, attack a village. It's all the same. I'm just here to kind of lay back and be me.
So you don't kill people for a job?
Oh, yes, I kill lots of people. Lots and lots of people. I'm just not being paid to kill people right now.
Interesting. And how much does that make?
I have minions. He points is like, I have tons of minions, so I can obviously afford to pay an entire army of minions.
And what brings you to this part of the world, then?
The beach, and I understand that when you've got a lot of money, you go to places like this and sit around and kind of look around and see contemplate your life, you know? Contemplate your life.
Contemplate your life. I always contemplate my life, even when I'm killing people.
In the background, Stormweaver is just flailing around his seagulls.
Just one. It's just one seagull.
That one seagull.
And this seagull is faster and seems to be stronger than you. It's like your nemesis. It's like gazing at you, and you got to gaze at it. And it's like you finally met your great and worthy opponent.
So that's going on in the background as they're talking about contemplating life.
Aaron's just staring at this, by the way.
Yes. Well, you contemplate life while you're killing people, yes, but recently I had a kind of a moment where I was staring at a village on fire, and I was like, what am I doing with my life? I'm just running around. I put people to the sword. I cast vastly dangerous spells at people. Where's the fulfillment?
Quite the existential crisis, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not in the people you killed.
Very good. So what is your name, sweet lady?
Out of character, I'm deciding whether to use my real name, Sarex's name, or not. Because if... I'm not sure. No,
Is a unisex name?
Sarex is a unisex name, yes.
Ah, okay.
My name's Sapphire.
Ah.
Sapphire. Shiny and beautiful. Tell me, Sapphire, would you like to split a roasted pig with me tonight around the fire on the beach?
Oh, is that what they're calling it?
Perhaps I might join you for that, yes.
Fantastic. Minions! And the little goblin guys run up. Yes, sir! Procure the finest pig, and the best wine, and ale, and fruits. Fruits! Women like fruits. Get many fruits.
Bitches love fruits.
Bitches love fruits. Okay. So Gorslash bows to you. Well, Lady Sapphire, I'll see you tonight around the fire pit.
I should be looking forward to it, Sarah.
He straps his helmet back on and then marches out with minions in tow. All right, Agroth. Or no, actually, now it is Ale. Ale, what are you up to?
So on the way journeying to this place, Ale kind of procured some herbs of recreational purpose.
Okay.
So he is like nestled in some sort of secluded corner or any reach of the area, kind of just working on that. So
Okay. Awesome. Ale is making party favors. Got it.
Ale smoking some weed over there?
yep.
Must you put your home life into your roleplay?
I already said that Ale mentioned at one point that he needed some Drelfin, which is basically draconic weed, and he just so happened to find someone, and he could procure some.
He's on vacation.
Yeah.
All right. So
he's like smoking it from this like weird like
a bong. Is smoking it from a bong.
Nah.
It's a weird, gigantic, like super complex bong. With like little bits of lightning and shit in it.
Oh,
It gives you a light show while you're using it.
It's
It's
magical.
the Willy Wonka of bongs.
Yes. Yes. This is the chocolate factory bong right here.
Well, I was thinking of it being made out of like wood and like and like a gemstone that glows in such a way, but like tiny enough to like almost look like a cigarette to him. But you know that works too.
I figure if we're about to go full on ridiculous here, so why not? Let's go ridiculous.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
He got it from the Storm Tribe.
So, Winnie, as you're talking to Jim the pirate, and Jim is regaling you with tales of how he took a merchant ship not two months ago. While he's regaling you with that, you notice the gnome in the corner is quietly cussing to himself and hammering on a backpack.
I really want to speak to that gnome.
Dobby is a bad elf.
So I'm going to quietly move over closer to the gnome and see what I can hear and or see. So I guess can I do a investigate roll?
Stealth would probably be better for this.
Okay.
Because you're trying to sidle over without Jim noticing you're leaving.
Oh, poor Jim.
Fortunately, Jim's still talking to Agroth. Yeah, Jim doesn't notice a damn thing. Jim's like, "Yar!" And then we jumped on the mainsail and stuck me knife in it, and it went down. I came down with the sound of a Ukrainian lady farting after too many nights of Mexican food.
Accurate.
All right, so the gnome is sitting there. Damn it! I will get this right. Come on, Ronaldo. You're not worthless. Show them you're not worthless.
Ronaldo.
Can I tell what he's trying to do as far as with banging on the?
Make a crafts roll.
Okay.
Hell if you know. You have no idea.
I ain't
It's
got
like
a
all sorts of gears and gizmos and little glowing crystals and belts and stuff.
So I'll kind of pop out of nowhere, and show myself and just come up and be like, "Hello, can I be of any assistance?"
Well, miss, unless you happen to know how to put together a proper gyroscopic drive mechanism, I suppose you can't be of any assistance.
Does that ring a bell for?
Not a damn thing. This guy's talking gibberish as far as you're
That's what I figured.
I know what a gyroscope is.
Yeah.
Legit.
So I'm kind of curious. I'm like, well, I actually may have a friend who might be able to help you with that.
If you got a friend that can help me, please, I'll reward you. You don't happen to know anyone who knows something about death rays, do you?
Like, see? Aaron might. Like, in a magical way, Aaron might.
In a magical way.
Well, I do know, like, with electricity, if you put electricity through certain crystals, it becomes kind of like a laser. I don't know if that is equivalent to a death ray, but...
I don't think so.
Hell if you know what this gnome's talking about at this stage. All right.
So
yes.
I was gonna go find. Well, is it Ale or Stormweaver that was doing the crafting stuff? Is that Stormweaver?
Stormweaver.
Yeah, Stormweaver is the more crafty one.
Okay.
And he's
So yeah, so I'm gonna go over to Stormweaver and
He shields
tell
you
him.
from the seagull.
Yeah, yeah. As it tries to pick me up.
No, it actually does not go for you. It's just fixated on Stormweaver.
This one's a pastry, that's all.
Which is really
Um,
shocking.
and it's all. I'll look at him and tell him, grab your plate. Come here. Come over this way.
He just like runs with his plate and like is all hunched over it, angrily looking up.
And the seagull just settles on the windowsill and gives you this look like if it had hands, it would point to its eyes and then point to you.
I was thinking of him doing the exact same thing.
I'm imagining Stormweaver huddling it and thinking, "Hey, pastriness,
That's right.
Pristiness? What?
my pastriness."
Oh, pastriness. I get it.
Yes.
All right, so you got Stormweaver.
Yeah.
Ronaldo is still feverishly working. He's a very manic little fellow.
So I'll bring him up and say, hello. Here's my friend. He's very crafty. He
Oh,
might be able to help you with your gyro thing, whatever.
gyroscopic drive mechanism.
Yeah, that thing.
Well, if anyone, Stormweaver might have an idea about those, considering the Storm Tribe actually uses like electricity for
But
to
he
power
gives
things and such.
you a look like you're not going to be using any magic on this, are you?
Not unless you ask me to.
No magic! I will conquer this world without magic! I will prove to all those magicians that I can take over the world using only technology!
Can Aaron hear this in the background?
Yeah.
Aaron instantly pops up behind the guy and be like, "What the fuck you say?"
Hang on one moment.
I just picture Ale like walking up, still holding his still holding the weed thing, just hearing like, I hear a rivalry going on over here.
I imagine him walking up, hearing that, and then turning around and walking back.
Just, Aaron, we're on vacation and you're causing fights. Really?
I'm sorry, Aaron is pissed. It's gonna happen.
Ever since you found out you were a godling, you changed.
I know. That was really the whole point. That was like character development right there.
Yep.
Honestly, because the reason why is like he wasn't very confident at all. Now that he knows that he's a godling, he's like, shit, I'm magical. So confidence is now popping out.
Magical
Houdini who?
and possibly immortal.
Yeah, exactly.
I still can't get over when Aaron asked how old he probably was, and Thoth was like, "Oh, probably over 10,000," and like Aaron just, fuck.
But that's still pretty young in terms of a godling.
And he's still like, fuck!
I mean, Ale is 336 years old, and he's still a teenager, like almost like equivalent of an 18-year-old. So.
But Aaron's so much older.
Yeah, exactly.
And still a child.
Freaking seagulls, man.
It's fucking true, though.
I've never had one swoop at me, but then again, I don't really usually eat where they are.
Smart. You are a smart boy.
Oh, there are. I mean, they're not technically seagulls. They're just gulls, and you get gulls everywhere here.
I could see it running, taking off and coming back with like 3 or 4 more, and hovering over you, just going mine, 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 mine.
Especially here at coastal places where people are eating their fish and chips. You know, that stereotypical British thing. Yeah, we love our fish and chips.
They're good.
Yes, they are. They always swoop down and try to nick your chips.
They don't want the
see?
fish. They want the chips. That's what they
Oh, yeah,
want.
they want
Exactly.
right. And I just put loads of salt and vinegar on this very thick chip. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. Swoop, snatch, gone.
Never see it again. No, I've actually had a time where I was at the beach and I was like eating a sandwich and I put it down really quick so I can like get a drink. Next thing I know, I look down like, where's my sandwich? I look over to the side. Oh, a seagull has it. 2 of them actually. Fun.
It's not
And then
just
I got another one.
It's not just seagulls though. There was a story not too long ago where a pig escaped his little farm, went to the camping lot, stole some beer, chewed it open, drank it, and then went back to his little pig pen, and it was completely trashed.
Well,
Yeah, I can imagine it affecting pigs like it does human. Pigs have an anatomy very similar to humans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And hello. Thank you for your patience.
Hello.
Mhm.
All right. So last, Aaron had snuck up behind Ronaldo the gnome
Ronaldo,
and said, "The fuck you say?" Ronaldo spins around and says, "Ah, so you're interested in arguing the relative benefits of your poppycock magic compared with the might of technology?"
I just feel sorry for him, honestly.
Wait, sorry. I was like reading something. Okay, sorry. I guess I'm distracted. What?
It's okay. He's like, after you said, "The fuck you say," Ronaldo spins around and looks at you with the rabid eyes of just a completely driven man. And he says, "So you're interested in debating the relative merits of your nonsensical magic compared with the might and superiority of technology?"
Aaron looks down with like it almost like a confident smile in his face and just like, you don't know who you're talking to.
Okay. Aaron, what I need you to do is I need you to make a physique roll. One of those
let's
weird
do
ones
that.
you don't normally make.
Yeah, I just want to do that again. Okay.
You'll probably need to hit the
The
oh gosh,
mediocre.
mediocre
Mediocre?
roll. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Fuck.
You actually shudder back and take you take like, oh golly, you could use a fate point to save yourself from taking some mental stress if you want.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that is.
I'm gonna do that.
Aw, the god didn't win. Oh well.
I know, huh?
Could Sarix know what kind of crystal he's using?
It's possible.
Could Sarix is going to walk over and
Well, actually, let's resolve what's going on with poor old Aaron right now. So you spend a fate point, and you are shaken. You're taken aback by the sheer level of disbelief that this gnome has. You have just encountered the strange power of the atheist gnome. His lack of belief actually causes discomfort to divine beings.
Oh.
Aaron's just gonna back up and just contemplate what just happened.
Nice. All right. So, Sarix, you want to come take a look?
What the fuck are you
Sarix.
doing?
I did want to look at it too. It just that happened.
Okay.
Sarix comes over and says, may I have a look? I come from a place where we have a lot of crystal mining going on.
All right, but this is a proprietary design. Okay. So what you guys can do is, who has the higher crafts here?
Ale does, I think.
No, mine and Ales are equal. I have fair in crafts.
Okay, you have fair crafts. What's your rating, Sarix? Ale's off getting high.
I was going to use investigate to see if I can recognize
investigate wouldn't work. You'd have to use crafts for this.
I can give it a go.
But what happens is you could help Stormweaver and give him a +2.
Ooh.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. All right. So between the two of you, teamworking.
Hopefully it's okay.
You kind of understand the matrix in which he's arranged these crystals, but you're having trouble understanding the mechanics of what he's trying to do with them. So you get part of it, but it's a little bit weird.
So he will explain the part that he does understand and ask about the part that he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to make is a backpack that will enable beings without wings to fly.
Oh.
I understand why someone would want to fly.
Why would you want to fly like this when there are plenty of airships?
Because what you have is an airship, a heavily armed airship to fly over a city, and then an army of automatons to wear these and fly down and to bring your will to the city.
You sound very passionate.
Too passionate.
Oh. I am passionate. Why thank you, sir. I'm deeply honored. Thank you. What is your name?
I'm Stormweaver.
Stormweaver. A good name. Yes. When my death ray is complete, I will name it the Stormweaver. Wait a minute. What if I do something to seed the clouds and channel lightning?
I could help you with that.
Yes. Yes, you can help me with that. Yes.
While Ronaldo is distracted talking to Stormweaver, as I'm listening to their conversation, I'm thinking this may not be such a good idea to let this guy go around with his stuff. So I want to try to steal his backpack.
You can't steal the backpack because he's holding it, but you can steal the bag next to him, which contains what he says is the prototype of his death ray.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay.
All right, make a burglary roll.
Stormweaver is kind of planning on working with the dude and actually maybe helping him see that he doesn't need to be that way towards magic users.
All right, so Winnie, you yes, and we'll get to that story. Winnie, you'd have taken the death ray.
I'm gonna quietly put it in my little bag of holding thing.
Okay, place it in there. So yes. So I'll show you my airship sometime.
Oh, I love airships.
You and the human with the large udders.
I think I will be very honored.
Stormweaver was kind of looking around when he said that.
Forgive me, small cat boy, for being so passionate with you. I was frustrated, so perhaps we could be friends.
Aaron looks at him, kind of pouty, and puts his hand out to shake.
He shakes hands with you heartily. Yes. And I can show you my muffin button.
Excuse you?
On my airship, I have a button you push, and it puts out a random muffin.
Oh!
I would like a muffin. Let's go.
Excellent!
I'll
You're the
bring my
muffin
barista.
Okay. Jim is still there, Agroth, asking you questions about, one time I was out at a concert. I was watching Golden Earring play. You remember them, boy?
Agroth is not saying anything to him, but just kind of like pluck away on the guitar, trying to mimic what he's hearing through the Walkman.
Golden Earring, they were a good band. Them and the Tubes, I liked them as well. My only regret is I never got to see Susie and the Banshees in concert.
Aw. I must have sucked.
They still together, where you're from, boy. Probably. Punk will last forever.
Agroth takes the headphone out and he says, where am I from? And then he closes his eyes and asks the kid, where are you from?
Tarzana?
Where?
Tarzana! I'm from Tarzana!
Agroth opens and looks at him and says, Tarzana!
Tarzana! I knew a lovely girl in Tarzana. He then begins singing the worst, most off-tuned sea shanty you've ever heard. And raises his glass and says, and here's to swimming with bow-legged women!
I've heard that before. Where have I heard that before?
I need to know where I heard that from too. It's like shit.
It's in Jaws.
Ah.
This guy is like a 70s dude that got teleported here and just took on the pirate persona, okay?
I mean, he knew what to do with himself, so.
Yeah, he did.
True. He handled it well.
All right, so those of
Agroth gets up and goes over to Ale.
Okay, Ale is smoking something that to your nostrils, Agroth, smells like gym socks and old cheese.
It's a nice way to describe the smell of marijuana.
No. The way I picture it, you said it was for draconics.
Yeah.
So I'm like so like this is like some weird toxic thing to most other beings.
Well, they could take maybe like a tiny hit of it and be okay. I wouldn't suggest a drag.
I don't know. I would probably make you roll to see if your lungs melt. Y'all are a little bit tougher than the average being. It's like don't get in drinking contests with dwarves. It's just a bad idea.
Except for Malorus. Malorus can probably get through it.
Probably.
Well,
Where is Malorus at this point?
at the bar,
Malorus
probably.
is at the bar, being quite quiet and looking a bit nervous.
Oh, that's interesting. What about Illyriel?
Illyriel is reading a book and just happy to be with Aaron.
Aww.
That's
I love her.
standard Illyriel.
So, Ale found a nice cushion that he could take into this secluded corner with himself, and he's just sitting there. And his draconic pupils can't extremely dilate or anything, so they don't get affected by drugs the same way humans do. So his eyes do a thing where they seem to kind of get slightly brighter, as if they're almost glowing. So, and he technically looks like he just is high. He's like leaning back, the head looking up in the air, blowing out a cloud, talking about the meaning of life.
To no one in particular.
Yeah, to himself.
Agroth asks you, well, what you got there?
Drelfin.
Would Agroth know what that is?
Roll lore. You might. Yeah, actually, you know what Drelfin is. You've been around for a millennium or 10.
Would be like, that's dangerous stuff you got there, man. You want to share some?
Oh, your host is going to die.
Like, Ale kind of just looks over and just says, "Your demonic nature doesn't affect the human that you're hosting."
You'll be all right.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I'm sorry, your description of his eyes getting brighter made me think that.
So he looks at Agroth and just slowly shakes his head and it's just like, I don't need him dying, but I know a dealer. Unless you.
All right, if you think so. Not even a shotgun or something?
Would Ale know what a shotgun is?
Oh, that's a good question.
Probably not. But what we would call a shotgun, they would call a vapor kiss in the tribe. So, yeah,
That's a nice name for it.
I didn't want to start calling it that.
But
And at this moment, Pirate Jim meanders over. What's that you say? You say you're going to shotgun some smoke. Well, Jim's your huckleberry for this one.
Josh, I keep picturing your D&D character.
What?
Let's see if he can handle it.
Is that Drelfin you got there, boy?
yeah,
I got some good stuff. No, a little too rarefied for me, but if you want to come back to my my ship, I got some good stuff. I got some Drelfin. I got some halfling pipeweed. I got what you need.
So we got a muffin button and a weed dealer.
Basically.
Perfect
I've got a
vacation,
barista.
if you don't mind what I say.
Ale's just kind of gonna like do that off you go motion with the back of his hand and just be like, take Agroth with you. I'm sure he'd like some.
Agroth looks to you and says, "You don't want to come with?"
No offense, but
I mean, you've got stinky Drelfin, and I understand. It's good, it's decent stuff. But I've got the fucking madman back at my ship. I'll go head-to-head with that continental shit any day of the week. Pirate Jim here says he's got the best Drelfin you ever found outside the tribes.
Ale's just gonna kind of like is kind of laughing a little bit, but is just like I don't do this a lot just for stress reasons. I don't need to have a what do humans call it when they all get together and have fun and do
a party.
Yeah, I don't need that.
You don't need a party, my friend. Nobody needs a party. Sometimes you want a party. You see what I'm saying? What's your name, lad?
Ale.
Ale! Named for one of my favorite beverages, no less. So,
No, not the beverage. The illness as like ailment.
oh wow, that's really dark. You are in worse need of a party than any man.
I need to find my chubby puppy.
Oh, he's right over there.
How do you know who was talking about?
It's the only big. Well, I'm answering Pirate's voice because it seems appropriate. Because he's the only giant dog man with a pot belly in the entire place.
I'm gonna go get him. But you guys go on ahead. I'll sniff you out. And he points at his nose.
Yeah, very good. You can come find my ship, the Merry Wizard, at the end of the dock.
He just puts a thumb up and says, I see humans do this a lot to each other. I hope it's a good sign.
I think it is. Come on, Agroth. There's plenty of wonderful, mind-enhancing substances at the end of the dock.
Agroth looks at him and says, "What'd you just call me?"
Agroth?
What's that?
He said it was your name.
Yeah, I thought
I
he
think he
called
said,
himself like Tim or something.
yeah, Tim.
Oh, Tim. Agroth Tim. Tim Agroth. Let's call you that.
Tim Groth.
Tim Groth. Hey, let's go.
Tim McGrath.
Yeah. Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw. That's beautiful. All right, so those of you who went to Ronaldo's airship, you are in a big, fancy airship bristling with cannons, covered with grappling hooks, and manned by clockwork gnomes.
Tarek is instantly intrigued.
Like gnomes
Welcome
that are
aboard.
clockwork, or a type of gnome?
No, they are gnomes made from clockwork.
Oh, okay.
Welcome aboard my fine ship.
It's fascinating.
This this ship, I call it Newton's hammer.
I love
Why?
your passion.
Newton's hammer.
This guy is a less annoying version of Lemon Grab from Adventure Time.
Oh my god, you're right.
I haven't seen Adventure.
It's fun. You should watch it. So he leads you into a big state-of-the-art galley, and there's this big shiny button with the outline. It's a shiny red button with the outline of a muffin or a cupcake printed on it. He's like, and now I present to you the muffin button.
The only reason I'm here pushes it.
Suddenly, the most scrumptious lingonberry muffin pops out. It's sweet, it's delicious, it has a hint of cinnamon. There's also a butter machine to your right, good sir.
Pushes the butter machine.
Butter pours out on it like soft serve.
Thank you, my friend. No walks away.
I think muffins certainly need coffee. Yes, have!
Yes. Yes, my friend. You have
There's muffins,
a
and
human
we need-
coffee maker.
Oh, he's not a slave. I pay him.
So you have created wage slavery? I like this. We tell them we pay them a wage, and then they do services for us, but we reap most of the benefits. You truly are a genius, Mr. Stormweaver.
Do you not know what capitalism is?
He looks a little confused, but he does thank you.
There's the apple in the Garden of Eden, Kay, you just threw out there. Capitalism. I'm going to take over the world. All right. So everybody's getting muffins. They're glorious, just as promised. Whenever you touch the button, it gives you the muffin you need most at that time.
Aaron's like really glued to this, by the way. So it probably had like 20 muffins by now.
Yes. Aaron's eating a lot of muffin.
So where did you get this contraption from?
I built it.
You built a muffin machine.
Yes.
From
You have
what?
to eat.
It cooks them all by itself.
It actually takes the biological components of muffin, reduces them down to a fine powder, and I have 50-year supply of muffin-making supplies of every shape, size, and assortment, and then it randomly assembles them into the muffin you require at the time.
Aaron looks
Are a
back and
genius.
says, Aaron looks back and says, yeah, it may not be 50 years when I'm done with this. You
This
may
is
have
fine.
like 10 years left, so heads up.
Test my capabilities, young cowboy. Do so, and I will grow and learn from experience. They said a vacation would be good for me. They didn't know how right they were.
Me?
Yay.
Oh, my idiot cousins who practice spell mumbling. Oh, I can't use magic. Something about I'm incapable of channeling mana. Well, we'll see who's mana deficient now, won't we?
Xerx comes over and asks, is there something that happened with your family?
Yes.
Would you like to talk about it?
Tell us what happened.
Can I roll empathy? I
Sure.
want to make
Yeah,
him
I
feel
kind of want
better.
to too, actually.
All right, so everybody's team working empathy. Who's got the highest empathy?
Not
shit.
me.
Yeah, probably me. Unfair.
I
Okay.
have no.
Well, no, but you can still help. You can try to be helpful. So a +2 from both
Okay.
Cyrix and Stormweaver. So add
Hey.
that to your 3. So you got 5.
5, yeah.
5 on your empathy, and he just starts crying on your shoulder and saying, "Mother never loved me because I could never get cantrips down."
Aaron actually like pats his head and she's like, I can teach you about mana if you want to learn.
I can't do it, no matter what. So what I did was I started building machines. They laugh at me. They always laugh at me, but they won't laugh. They won't laugh.
But that's where you can use your skills in machines. You don't have to destroy people. You can help people with your machine.
Of course, I want to help people with my machines. Just all these governments are so irritatingly backward.
But
I
Aaron,
say I must agree.
if you want, you can also mix magic with your technology.
You are a good young boy, Aaron.
But you're also incredible with these already. That's
Well,
much as easy
that's
to
the
take.
only problem. Is the only thing I'm really good at is making non-lethal weaponry. I mean, my death ray just feels like a sort of a warm, sunny day.
Well, why do you feel like you need to make weaponry?
Oh, because my brothers were blowing things up with their spells and everything else. I really try. The clockwork gnomes, they can't fight. They just build and sing things.
But
you
this
will-
is your
Okay.
chance to be unique and not like your cousins. You could do
I
so
was-
much better than them.
Aaron makes a realization that maybe he's trying to do the wrong magic.
Okay.
So Aaron looks down since probably still on his shoulder, I would presume. And Aaron's like, maybe you're doing the wrong type of magic. Maybe you're supposed to be more peaceful.
That could be it. That could be.
And we go back to mixing both your magic and technology and make something even better.
A unique idea.
Automatons that, help people, not destroy people.
Yeah.
I could build this ship so that it flies in and lands over a town, and we descend en masse and help the population.
That sounds incredible. You may want to send word first, though. You may want to mention that you're not coming in to attack.
I think you're right. I think you're definitely correct. I should definitely not just invade towns.
And you could be able to get rich from this and make your brothers jealous.
Cousins.
Cousins and brothers and sisters, they're all in on it. So I'll get wealthy.
Yes,
I'll
success
be
is the
super
best
wealthy.
revenge.
Yes. Yes, my vengeance will be complete when I've had total success.
There we go, yes.
Yeah, that works.
Thank you all so much, kind tourists. You have done me a great service. Anything you need from Ronaldo is yours.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Can you take back the stuff about the magic?
Yes. Come to my laboratory.
Gladly.
Okay.
I just pictured a giant zeppelin, just coming down on a town, and everyone seeing all of these automatons just falling and thinking that it's the end of that it's the end of days, and just running around, and all you hear is everyone just yelling out, "Don't run! I'm trying to help you!"
And then, when the zeppelin and the automatons leave the town, it's repaired, and everything's great, and they're like, "What the hell just?" They all climb out of their shelters, like, "What the hell just happened? Let's never speak of this again." Ooh. All right, so Agroth.
I'm really happy about this situation.
Agroth.
Yes.
You are with Pirate Jim at his ship. The ship looks like a fairly standard sailing ship. Except on the deck, strapped down, there is a... Yes, that's exactly right. There's a 1978 Chevy van with a unicorn and a rainbow and a wizard painted on the side of it.
Oh my god. The sad part is I see that on a daily basis at the gas station.
All right, so Pirate Jim, welcome aboard, me boy. Tim to the van. He brings you to the van and starts busting out all kinds of drugs, world appropriate to y'all. He's like, "But I do have one thing from years ago. This," and he pulls out a bottle of little red pills. "Is a bottle of Quaaludes, my boy."
What the fuck?
You don't find these much on this world.
I'll take it all.
And what will you trade me for it?
Oh, you want the Walkman?
Yes, that sweet Walkman.
A Walkman
And
for
any
drugs.
tapes you might have.
Does he have extra tapes?
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Yeah, he'll give him the whole collection.
Oh. I haven't heard it in so long. Led Zeppelin's physical graffiti. It's truly a great day to be Pirate Jim. Now get out of here, my boy. I'm going to get baked and listen to Zeppelin.
So would Agroth just jump in the van and drive it off?
The van probably hasn't moved in 12 years.
Okay. Well, yeah, he will grab his booty up and get on out of there.
Perhaps he needs his own bag of holding.
Hey, he's got a JanSport, okay?
Yeah, there we go. He crams it.
Exactly. All right.
And I guess I'll look for the gnome's ship.
Okay. There's two airships. One is physically imposing with a bunch of demons' heads all over it, and the other has a lot of clockwork with cannons all over it, like a ridiculous amount of cannons on it.
Like we're not
He'll
sure it's
go
fine.
to the clockwork one.
Make a lore roll real quick.
Yeah.
Oof.
All
Okay.
right, we're going to the demon one.
No. You're going on the clockwork one. But you didn't even notice anything. All right, so Winnie, you're on board. There's muffins flying. There's love in the air because like Stormweaver and Aaron and Syrinx have convinced this megalomaniac gnome to do good for people.
I am very happy about that.
So Winnie, I want you to roll a notice roll, please.
All right.
Okay. You see something you never thought you'd see. As you're kind of exploring the airship while they're having their talk upstairs, you see in one room, sitting in a fairly well guarded box, clear box, you see a golden harp,
Huh.
and you recognize this, as any good thief would, as one of the most valuable in the multiverse. This is the harp of Ilona.
Hmm.
Oh,
Interesting.
Ilona like the goddess?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You said it's fairly well guarded.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess. How many guards and stuff are there? Or because it's gonna be like the clockwork things.
No, actually, it's mostly alarms and locks.
Okay.
The difficulty you'd have to beat is 3 on burglary rolls. Now, I know for Winnie, you could probably just say that he might as well have stuck chewing gum on the box. But
Well, especially if I use my mythological master thief aspect
and the skeleton key.
and the skeleton key. Yes.
All right, spend 2 fate points and roll your burglary, and just sashay off with the harp of Ilona.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Click, click, click. Boom. Winnie, you are satisfied. It feels good to steal things.
I'm gonna add that to my extras. The harp of Valona.
All right, so you've got that. And what else do? You want to look for more treasure?
Yeah, maybe just do like just in an investigate roll, just to
Okay.
kind of see if there's anything else.
Yeah.
Where am I investing? Yeah.
You don't see much else of value.
All right. Then I guess I'm going to. I guess as I'm looking around, do I see Agroth wandering up this way?
You know what? Yes, you see Agroth wandering in.
Okay.
Tim McGrath.
That is totally his new alias.
I like it.
So I'm gonna walk up and greet him and tell him that everybody is down because they were in the laboratory, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, I'll say everybody else is down in the laboratory with the gnome.
What are you doing up here?
Oh, just scoping things out.
You have to ask.
What you scoping?
Nothing really, there's all kinds of clockwork tinkery stuff going on here. So
Yes, and Winnie knows a lot about that.
Is there like a check that I can see if she's like lying to?
It would be empathy. Winnie, roll to see. Oof,
Yeah.
that's some stiff competition.
Oh yeah.
That Winnie, you can always rely on her to tell the truth.
Yeah.
You just lied. You just come to a weapon lying to a 100,000-year-old demon.
Well, she's a 100,000-year-old fairy, so
That's true.
touche.
That's true.
It's like we're two aspects of creation.
Yeah. So Agroth's just gonna look around, see if there's anything.
Some kind of cool stuff. This gnome seems to have a fun little collection of what look to be primitive firearms.
He picks one of them up, kind of examines it.
Yeah, it's a matchlock pistol.
Ooh.
I don't need. He has no need for it. He puts it back down and joins the rest of the group with the gnome.
Okay. All right, so Aaron. He's sitting there and he's like feverishly taking notes as you tell him about different kinds of magic.
This makes him very happy. It's like sees the passion that he has for it and makes him all like giddy and stuff.
All right, so we're gonna cut over to Ale.
Okay.
Okay, Ale is sitting there. Malorus is sitting at the bar, drinking beer, kind of muttering to himself.
When
Should I?
when Ale had walked up, he sat down beside Malorus and called on the barkeep for two of the strongest glasses he had. And he's now kind of like, he downed both of those and is looking over at Malorus just like, are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just kind of thinking about something. How are you doing? How are you doing?
My name's Ale Malorus.
I know that, Ale. I know. Just nervous, okay?
Why are you nervous?
Okay, so let's say I was a dragon man or, whatever. I really, really, really cared about this other dragon man. What's the protocol there? What are you supposed to do?
Okay. Well, Never thought I was gonna have this talk until I had a kid of my own, but that was never gonna happen. Okay. So,
No, I mean not the sex part. I understand the sex part. We do the sex.
Well, he's just out
I
of
meant that
charge.
other thing where I care about someone and maybe want to not travel around killing people or travel in a smaller radius killing people to be closer to that person.
Ale's kind of like just kind of like chuckles a little bit and calls for another glass from the barkeep.
Time to
Make mine a
explain the
double.
intricacies of the Dragonoid tribes and their courting.
He downs that third glass and then just looks over at Malorus and like turns his body towards him on the stool, and it's just like, and he's just like, okay, so Dragonoids are well known for our emotion. We're not a very emotion suppressing people. We're just straightforward. If we don't like you, we don't like you. If we love you, we love you. Now, if you see if you were a Dragonoid and you saw another Dragonoid that you were very interested in, aside from the mating, what you're going to do is you're going to walk up to them, and he kind of like scoots he kind of like does this like weird like back and forth motion, scooting the stool closer to Malorus, and then just like reaches up and says, "You're gonna take the 4 tips of one of your hands."
Okay.
And he reaches up and touches Malorus's forehead, and then says, "And you're going to touch here, and slowly and gently pull your hand down across the top of their muzzle to the tip of their nose. And when you hit
like
the tip
this.
of the... Yes.
Okay. What do I do next? And he's actually like, he's kind of panting because, you know, he can't sweat. And he's like, so what do I do next? I mean, he's got all the intensity of someone performing open heart surgery from a book.
And then you're
and then what?
Bear with me here. I'm a little bit intoxicated. Just gotta. All right.
So am I. Okay, let's do this.
And he's like holding his hands out as if like he's trying to like kind of like, you know, steady himself a little bit. And he reaches up and then he's just, don't worry about speaking this draconic phrase. Doesn't matter. It's just basically us saying we love you. But
we love you. All right. Well, excellent. That it?
Ale's kind of like laughing. He's finding this kind of funny, and he's like, and then, yeah, that's it. There's really no intricacies to it. That's just.
Oh. Malorus like leans back. Oh, thank God, that's over. Oh well, I'm glad that I didn't screw that up. Generally, we like to just find one person for the rest of our lives, that kind of thing. You know, it's kind of how my people do it. So,
yeah, my people are a little bit different. We choose one for the rest of our lives, or we practice polygamy. So it's all based on the individual.
Well, all right. Well, fortunately, you're the only one I'm pretty interested in. So, yay. That's good. I'm going to take that polygamy information, drink on it a bit.
A lot of communication.
Barkeep,
another one.
Yeah, another one.
Oh my god.
This is so fun to listen to.
I know.
All right. So the last bit for the evening, the last scene is going to be the luau with Gorslash and his minions. All right. So the entire community comes down. The minions have dug up the roasted pig and all that other stuff. There's like food everywhere, and Gorslash is wearing his armor and a festive lei of flowers. Just picture like big edgelord armor with like pink flowers around his neck. All right, so libations are pouring, food is going, and Sarix, are you still looking like 90s Pamela Anderson?
Yeah.
All right. Miss Sapphire, please come sit with me at the head table.
Zarek goes and sits next to him.
And how are you this fine evening?
Well, I helped a very trusting gnome scientist. That was fun. Got 3 muffins out of that too.
Muffins. I love muffins. Perhaps later we could take a look at your muffins.
Maybe.
Oh my.
We'll see.
He's going to make his mediocre roll to seduce you.
I was thinking of other things.
Oh my god!
Oh gosh.
Oh my god! He's horrible, but he got a 4.
Is there a way I can combat that?
Yes, please.
Please do it.
What did he say?
Roll good taste.
Good taste.
Roll good.
Oh,
What is that?
I'm going to say Sarix has a 4 in good taste. Roll one of your number 4 skills.
No, just any of my number 4 skills.
Yes, just any of them.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God.
Good.
You saw through this horrible shallow bastards. Come on, Lions. I'm sorry, that will never happen again. Like, in a combat where, like, I'm having some big, hideous monster attack you, I'm always rolling, like, -1s. But I do something to make my Zap Brannigan clone seduce Sarix, and I get a critical success. That's nuts. Okay. All right, so, Winnie, what are you doing here at the luau?
I'm just kind of sitting back with Illyriel, just kind of enjoying the night.
Illyriel's watching the proceedings and particularly taking an interest in Aaron, and she's saying, it's a good night, Winnie.
Yeah, and especially with Aaron's new interest in teaching Ronaldo in trying to work with him.
She hands you a small box.
What is this?
Open it.
All right. So
It's the star gem she promised you for protecting Aaron.
Aww.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I was about to say it's a note that says Ilona's harp here.
Oh,
No, it is not. Winnie has kept her mouth shut about Ilona's harp.
it's an IOU. IOU.
I owe you 1 harp.
So I look over at her and kind of look back down and close the box slowly, and I'll hand it back to her.
Oh?
and say, it's I haven't earned this yet.
She smiles and she basically just nods to you and looks out at the sea, taking a deep breath. All right, so Sarix, you're there with Goreslash. Goreslash is doing his damnedest to romance you.
So, Goslash, how many people have you killed exactly?
Well, there were a couple of thousand when I destroyed the villages in the Southland last month.
Innocent people you killed?
Well, I wouldn't say innocent.
Women, children?
No! No! Gross!
I'm sorry, but the way Sarix is talking to this guy is I'm expecting him to like this dude to slip up and say something of the sort, and like Sarix just jumps up with a badge out saying, "You're under arrest for murder."
Oh, gross! I'm strictly a no women, no kids kind of guy. Just adult males. Just kill them. Kill them. Sometimes you don't kill them all the way. Just kill them a little bit, you know?
What?
How do you kill someone only slightly?
Well, you just beat them up, really.
And what if they're innocent people? Innocent men you're killing?
Innocent men. I mean, generally what you do with them is you don't attack them. He actually leans in and says, "Look, lady, I don't know what your game is, but you're not going to fuck up this evil overlord thing for me. I've got 3 squares a day, and these goblins think I'm a total badass. Now all I need you to do is act like I kill innocents all the fucking time. Fortunately, these goblins are pretty dumb. They don't realize I haven't killed anyone."
Well, that's fine. You can keep pretending as long as I know you haven't killed innocent people. That's fine.
Wait a minute, what were you going to do if I had killed innocent people?
Oh, you don't want to know.
My God, you're a psychopath!
Maybe yes, maybe no. Who knows?
Well, you have a lovely night, ma'am. Go over here and talk to the guests. He basically books it. And you've never heard someone in armor like go clink, 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 and away as quickly as he does. Stormweaver, what are you doing?
You say it's a luau, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got on a hula skirt. Over his what is that called again? Kilt, yes, over the kilt.
Over the kilt. Okay,
Over the kilt, yeah.
That's an interesting image. All right, very, very Hawaiian Scottish hybrid thing. Let's keep going.
All right, so what all is going on at the luau anyway?
There's dancing. There's music playing.
There's a guy in big black armor running away from Sarix.
Yes, the guy in big black armor is running away from like the really tan lady.
Well, Stormweaver is really not surprised, but he's just kind of up there dancing, a lot of hip swinging, basically.
Okay. All right, and you have a place at one of the tables, right?
Probably, yeah. It depends, actually, if somebody saved him one.
Okay, yeah, there is one.
Aaron probably did.
It's next to Aaron and everybody else. All right. While you're dancing, you turn around, you see the seagull.
Oh,
It's got your food.
It did what now?
It's sitting there eating your plate of food and just looking at you like, what?
His corpse runs at it screaming.
All right, make
Being come
a
shoot.
physique roll because you're trying to wrestle the seagull or something. You're not trying to out and kill it. So
No. What roll do I make?
physique.
Okay.
But Aaron's just like watching this dragonborn just kind of run in his general direction, kind of like, what's going on?
It never
You
fails.
knock that seagull winded. It's like, and it looks up at you with vengefulness in its eyes.
It has the exact same expression towards the seagull.
All right.
Aaron's just kind of watching this, just like, I don't know if I'm intruding.
Ronaldo is sitting with you, Aaron, going, that's a mean seagull.
Yeah, but Stormweaver's meaner.
Looks like he just knocked that seagull out of the air.
This is why I love him.
All right, so Agroth.
Yes.
What are you doing? Pirate Jim is there. He proceeds to bust out his acoustic guitar and play "Behind Blue Eyes" by The Who.
Oh my god.
Agroth's playing with him.
Nice. All right, so Agroth's having the jam session with Pirate Jim.
Is there a role for performance for that?
Yeah, sure. Agroth, make a rapport roll.
I don't have
Jim's
rapport.
is pretty terrible. Let's just roll a mediocre roll, Agroth, since you're just learning to play.
Hey, I got a 1.
Between the two of you, you actually sound like there's a tune. I mean, it's not glorious, but it's
To
working.
them it is.
Yeah. Well, y'all
I
have.
I can envision Ronaldo looking at the Walkman and somehow tinkering and figuring out how to make a speaker for it.
Can Stormweaver just carry that seagull and just continue doing the hula?
Okay, you're going to dance with the seagull. Yes. You have my blessing. And when you get to change up your aspect, you can add mean seagull companion if you want.
Oh my god.
All right. So Ale, Malorus is actually being quite affectionate toward you. Since now he's, as he would put it, well, I'm hitched now, so I might as well.
They have a ceremony for that, don't they?
In the tribe, yes. Ale doesn't know how it works outside of the tribes. Plus, again, shaman, they never get married. They're celibate most of their lives.
You
So.
could ask Stormweaver, he probably knows how it works.
Whoops, Malorus probably won't like that part.
Wait, which part?
The
like
celibacy
marriage
part.
type of ceremony.
Well, he hasn't done the ceremony, like I said. That's why he still is,
I know.
open to it.
I mean,
Well,
I do
among
know
Malorus's
there's
people, you just give somebody a blanket. Tie the blankets together, you're married. When you're tired, just untie the blankets.
I do know he mentioned before there's this this particular garment for when you get married, and it just conforms to you and you can't take it off until after.
Yeah. But no. But okay, so I think Ale's having a pretty good time. Now that he's away from the clinic, he's he was originally going to go fishing, but this turned into a vacation real fast. So he's so yeah, he's pretty much intoxicated with Drelfin
Right.
and alcohol, having a good time. So yeah, he has his head on Malorus's shoulder, and it's
Nice.
Aww.
All right. So, and next time we'll cover fishing. Because Pirate Jim's got a boat. Pirate Jim knows where all the good fishing spots are.
And the Ale's going to completely strip down and jump into the water.
Nice. All right. Okay, so everybody, this is a minor milestone. You can exchange the places of one skill, or you may hang on, rewrite one of your non-high concept trouble aspects.
So actually, I wanted to do a thing since I'm probably gonna be away from the session.
Well, I was actually going to discuss the idea of Aaron and Ronaldo running around doing.
Oh my gosh! Okay, you know what? That's a better plan.
I had like this sort of, it's going to be all sad and they're gonna fly off and all this. And it's like, no, Aaron and Ronaldo running around getting in trouble. That's much better.
That is. It's not sad.
I'm gonna exchange the I need Ale's help for the mean seagull.
Mean seagull companion. By the way, the seagull has like I've got his character sheet. I think here it is. He's got like a 4 in fight. I mean, he's just. I just wanted to make this ridiculous seagull.
Well, the seagull is gonna be a great help to you guys.
That's equal to my fight.
I know, right? Because I wanted to be kind of be Stormweaver's nemesis. And literally, I named that section of the adventure "That Damn Seagull."
If it's not trolls, it's birds.
So I guess my question is for Winnie. If Aaron takes off with Ronaldo, she knows that she can't go because I guess the bigger priority is going to be Agroth and and Sarix and trying to solve the mystery behind all that stuff. So.
Although now I'm starting to picture Winnie and Illyriel need like 2 more weird fairy creatures, and you could have like sort of, I don't know, an Arcadian version of the Golden Girls or something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Woo.
But actually, I still want to do one thing.
Okay.
Which is basically just Aaron be like, "Hey, yeah, we go off." So, Aaron gathers everyone except for Renato because he already knows. He's gonna be there. Gathers everyone. It's just like, okay. So, remember when we were talking to Renato about becoming rich and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, I'm helping with that, so you won't see me for a while. Yeah.
Oh.
Illyriel hugs you tightly and says, "Oh, my boy. Be careful out there, and remember you always have a home."
I will. It's has a cute little smile with it.
No.
And would there be a way for them to communicate?
Yeah.
All right, then yeah. So with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, okay. Then.
Yeah, you can just do it over Discord, and we'll say it's some sort of, I don't know, clockwork birds that carry messages.
Okay. So yeah, so I'll probably pop in occasionally, just be little messages that Aaron might have. Actually, I'll even make a little thing.
And if you happen to have any time during our game that you want to play, we can always arrange for Ronaldo to be back in Bologna.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah, he's
yay!
So yeah, that works. Sweet.
Excellent. All right, I actually the way you worded that about helping Ronaldo get rich, my immediate thought is like, oh my god, this is all a dream in Creed's mind.
Oh my god, it is though.
And of course, also realize that because I've got Agroth and Winnie as NPCs, and I basically tie this into pretty much every multiverse thing I do. At some point, I'll leave some Easter eggs about one or both of them in the D&D game.
Ooh.
That sounds awesome.
So
That's going to be hilarious. As long as Winnie has the harp, then it's all good.
well, and actually, it could be so awkward as priests of Alona are like, this artifact has been stolen. You must go into the Feywild and retrieve it.
That would be so funny. You guys have to tell me about that.
And yeah, they do
Indeed.
have in the Kingdom of Selene, they do have a pretty big Ilana following, don't they?
Yes, in fact, Alona is the patron of the kingdom.
Yeah, and that's actually the goddess that I follow with my monk. So that's the monastery that I've been with. So
Interestingly enough, that's the druid circle that Trell knows. That's who they follow as well.
Well, years and years ago, running a game with friends, I randomly rolled that they found this harp, and this was, I think, in second edition AD&D, and like it was when Spelljammer was out, so it was like they basically used the harp as a power source for their ship, and and it was because of an anime. They had a moonstone cannon, and the thing about the moonstone cannon is you fired it, and then 100 random things would happen.
oh my god.
So, yeah.
That'd be a lot of rolling.
Oh, trust me, they only fired it a few times. When they turned the fighter into a sperm whale and he almost choked to death on the air, it was a bad time.
Wait, don't sperm whales breathe air?
They have to moisten their blowholes.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a bad scene in the desert.
Oh man, I would imagine.
Sperm whale in the middle of the desert, not a good thing.
Yeah, they'd collapse under their own weight a bit as well.
Yeah, that was happening. He had to make back then it was a saves versus death ray or die. So it's like, oh crap, and they finally managed to stop him they managed to change him back, but it was a little bit hairy there for a bit.
I do know that the polymorph spell, if the creature you turned into's hit points goes all the way down, it doesn't actually affect you unless it goes over that amount. Just when their hit points drop to 0, you just poof back.
Well, the biggest problem though is like with the harp, it's not the spell has like an effect. It's like, okay, this is an effect and we can do it, right? Mm-hmm. But the harp is like a plaything of the gods, and throughout all the editions of D&D, artifacts were nothing to screw with.
Mm.
Like artifacts in mortal hands were like, if you remember the One Ring from Tolkien, it's like that but worse.
Oh.
Like there's the Hand of Vecna, where you chop off your own hand. You get all kinds of awesome max level spell powers, but slowly you become Vecna, the Archlich. So, and you've got this big weird dead hand. Then you would try to find the eye of Vecna and stick it in your own head and other untasty things.
Oh, geez.
And your alignment slowly becomes chaotic evil. So, what is it they said on South Park? You're not going to have a good time.
Yeah, not worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah, artifacts are kind of the MacGuffins, and you actually don't want to have them. Oh, look, it's an artifact. Don't touch it. Put it in the box. We'll get rid of it.
Bring it to priests.
Bring it to priests. Drop it in a volcano. Whatever you got to do. Just don't touch it.
Indiana Jones and Lara Croft would not be happy.
It belongs in a vault somewhere underground, far from
In
Oh my
D&D,
goodness! So this was great. Thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed it.
It was a lot
very
of fun.
much so.
After all that
Yeah, super fun.
excitement, I wanted to do a nice little slice of life thing. And of course, you have contacts like Pirate Jim and Ronaldo, and Gorslash will probably never want to be in the same room with Sarix again. Still think it was funny how Gorslash eventually just became Zap Brannigan. But hey.
I almost wanted Ale to walk up to Sarix and like pat him on the shoulder and just be like, "Yeah, you really got to work on your
Game?
flirting."
Yeah, I do like how Sarix's flirting style is somewhere between like hey there sailor and Hannibal Lecter saying, and do you still hear the lambs screaming? Oh.
Sadly, I think Josh has been quiet this whole time.
Yeah, he
I think
has
he
been
might have
pretty
fallen
quiet.
asleep.
Maybe.
I may fall asleep. Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh.
Probably
Oh.
a technical issue then.
Fell off the face of the earth. No.
No.
Oh.
I
There
was
you go.
talking, but apparently it wasn't letting me say things.
Well, welcome
Well, that's
back.
why we were ignoring you, apparently.
Sorry if it
No, I
felt
wasn't
like we were
ignoring
ignoring
you. I
you.
literally didn't.
That's okay. What was I saying? Well, I was saying that Sarix needed to make sure that he didn't actually kill innocent individuals, because that's what Sarix is like.
Yes. I also thought it would be fun to make fun of edgelord villains. You know, I am the worst being that ever lived.
Bring me a
Here, as
coffee
long
as
as
dark. Bring me a coffee as dark as my soul. Okay, one glass of
That's
milk
right.
coming up. Here's your glass of milk, sir.
Shut up!
Ah, fudge cakes.
That's right. Oh, fudge kid.
Why can't I get a hairstyle that will match my helmet?
Oh my god!
But Mom, this is not a phase.
It's not a phase, Mom. It's just my face, Mom.
Nice.
Mom,
Yes,
gonna
but
conquer the world.
that was fun. I got to do silly voices and not have to be terribly realistic at all this time, so I was happy.
No,
And Ale got to let his hair down, figuratively speaking.
Indeed. Speaking of which, I am looking at my schedule coming up and trying to determine, did y'all want to do a second night of gaming in the week?
Very much so.
That's difficult for me.
Okay, I'm trying to figure it out because I'd gotten the request from Skylar, and I would just want to see if it was possible. If not, we'll figure out what's going on with Fate in the next few sessions, and then start looking at D&D as a Sunday night game, or
Yeah, it's only because Mondays and Thursdays now I am busy rehearsing Animal Farm. Tuesdays is my normal drama workshop. Wednesdays usually free, but I can't always be certain. Fridays are also somewhat free, but again, that depends.
Okay. Good to know.
Is everyone I don't know. I mean, because if you're gonna show up, I'm gonna be there, so it doesn't really matter for me.
Also, I have applied for a job, and I'm waiting to hear back from that.
Right.
I mean, I don't imagine it would be like a night job.
No, but it depends what time I have to get up in the morning, and because if we're starting the game at Central Time 7, that's nearly 2:00 my time.
Right. Which I totally understand.
Well, I will say this that I at work I'm going to be taking on a project
Okay.
starting not this coming week but next week. So I'll be working Monday through Friday, 10 to
Okay.
7.
All right.
So I'll be off all day on Saturday.
Saturdays? I
So
mean, it depends what time Saturday it be, because I finish my rehearsals on Saturdays at 5.
Well,
And
Saturdays at like 1 p.m. Central Time, I generally
you generally don't.
I
you cut
become
out there.
I become free at around 1 or 2 on Saturdays. Excuse me.
Which
Let me check.
Which for Josh would be like 6.
5 or 6,
Yeah.
like right when he gets off or gets done.
Well,
with it.
that there's travel time to put into that because where I go, it's an hour and
Well,
15.
I'm pretty well free from then on. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So let's say from about 7 my
okay,
time.
yeah, that works for me.
Which would be 2, I think, for us.
Yeah.
Well, for me, anyway.
Or depending if I stay back for a few drinks, it may be 9.
hmm Well, and like I said, right now I'm trying to determine. I'm going to have to let you all know what my schedule's like. But generally, we'll either get to a nice pause point for Fate because the way we do it is pretty episodic, and there's not levels, and that's why Fate is good for that. That's why Fate is really good for Aaron to drop in and out of.
Yeah.
Whereas D&D is like, oh look, I'm level blah blah blah. Oh look, Bob's level 1 and everyone else is level 19. This is not going to go well for Bob. Bob, just go ahead.
I was just saying, I would be Bob.
Look out, a dragon! Oh, Bob looked at it. He's dead.
Yep.
Did he roll his save? If he gets anything but a natural 20, he is dead. Oh,
Yep.
oh my.
Dang it, he leaned his head too far out over the boat.
Yeah,
I'll
pretty
look
much.
deeply into their eyes.
A cloud hit him while he was on one of the flying ships.
Yep.
The dragon sneezed, Bob dies. What? Make a death save. I failed all 3 death saves. You're dead, Bob. No! Come on!
Bob.
His teammate accidentally bumps into him, and he's
Wait, what accidentally bumps into him?
a teammate.
Damn it, that armor of damage retribution. Why?
A small bird landed upon his shoulders. He died.
However,
Okay.
KU, I will come up with pre-generated guest characters that you can take on depending on your mood. Anything from comic relief all the way up to I'm pretty badass. So
Oh, sweet. Thank you. I'm excited for that when I get.
All right, and Chad, you were gonna say something?
Nah, I don't think so.
I just saw you unmute your mic, and I thought you were gonna say something. And we just kept talking about funny things. So,
Yeah, you're good.
did you have any input about a second day?
I mean, it all just kind of depends because I usually work 2 of the 3 weekend days.
right.
So I mean, it all depends on what the schedule is and the start time.
All right. So the most regular. Okay, Sunday works pretty good, and the most regular group we got is Freya, Skylar, Jory, and Josh. Correct?
Yeah.
Again, I forgot to mention this, that a lot of my shows also happen on Saturdays, and that could be late, me getting home very late.
And see, that's why I'm really just considering the Sunday bit, because I am at this stage running, good God, 4 games a week.
Ooh.
Wow.
So So I'm kind of trying to work in my schedule. Yeah, although I am getting paid for 2 of them, so I'm pretty happy about that.
That's cool.
Never done that before. It's at the local comic shop.
Out of curiosity, what is so? If it's midnight my time, what's that and Central Time?
Hold on.
10:37.
5. Yeah.
So if it's around 10, that's usually the latest I get home is about 12. My
Okay.
time.
Well, and like
We're
I
not
said,
central.
Yeah, Central. I don't know about 8
Yeah,
o'clock.
we're
There
not.
you go.
We're not central.
I know. That's why I took him an hour away. He's 5 hours from us.
Right. So you'd be 6 hours from Central Time.
Yes.
so anyway, like I said, I think we'll do the D&D on Sunday. And it's kind of cool because I'm getting a lot more experience at running 5th edition. So it's going to be good, and a lot of times I may ignore some rules that might kill you from time to time, because I think I would much rather take a more narrative tack with it than just for the longest time D&D was like, unless we go in and we do this exactly right, everyone dies. And so 5th edition gives you a lot more leeway, and I'm thankful for that.
Me too.
Though at some point it might be fun to roll up some pre-generated characters and put you through one of my favorite Lamentations of the Flame Princess adventures called Blood in the Chocolate, which is basically like a 16th century or 16th or 17th century homage to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, when you sent that to me a while ago, I had looked it over, and it looked pretty fun.
Yes.
It would be the 17th century, but chocolate. Oh, yeah, that was just when chocolate was being brought over, actually.
Well, actually, they have really screwed with the timelines and everything, because it's weird fantasy, and there's just, it's bizarre because you're like your characters are given chocolate, and over the course of the module, you are slowly mutating, and so you roll randomly to see what horrible things happening to you now. Oh God, I've got a tentacle for an arm.
Well,
And like most Lamentations modules, it's like Call of Cthulhu. You're kind of not gonna survive this, so you just sort of enjoy what you get. Like, I'll never forget my first Call of Cthulhu game. And I later looked at the module we were running from, and my character goes down a hole, and my keeper, the game master, was like, "You're dead." And I'm like, "Well, why?" And then it says, if they climb down a hole filled with ghouls, unable to move, and the ghouls have eaten them. It's like, oh well. And then I made a librarian, and she went crazy and tried to kill everybody after reading the wrong book. So
Okay.
it's Call of Cthulhu. So, it's like, oh look, it's insanity. Great. But like I said, those are fun. There's also a game called Paranoia, where everybody starts out with 6 clones, and you can be killed for almost any infraction. And it's just like, it's weird.
I've been meaning to ask you, actually. You said you run other games. I was wanting to know what the players there are like.
Oh gosh. Well, I have my one group. I'm running a Rifts game for them, and it's basically 4 ladies that I run for. And soon one of their sons is going to join, but they're all like, one plays a Tolkien elf, the other is a psionicist, and then we've got one who's like, I want to be a full conversion cyborg, like the Major from Ghost in the Shell. And I'm like, okay, absolutely, you can do that.
Nice.
And then we've got what's the other one? Then there's a guy who's one of the other ladies, because they're playing in Riffs Japan. And so that's hilarious, good fun. Then there's a game. There's a horror game I run called Beyond the Supernatural, which is more pulp horror than Call of Cthulhu. In Call of Cthulhu, you see something that drives you crazy. Oh, the horror! You probably die. And in Beyond the Supernatural, you see something scary, you get scared, then you go find a bunch of guns and go take it out. So it's a distinctly American and modern horror game. And then I'll do one shots of RuneQuest and GURPS, stuff like that. And with those I get a varying crowd of people of various ages and whatnot. So yeah. So that's my side gig now, is doing that and writing RPG tables, which is kind of fun. Roll 100 underwear, or
I'm sorry,
one table that I'm working on is 100 things that can be in your underwear drawer. A pocket dimension full of spider centaurs. Child spider centaurs is one of them. Yeah. It's like, well, this is not typical Fruit of the Loom behavior.
I actually really miss an old friend of mine from high school. She was actually she actually did animations as a thing to make money back when she was in high school, and she wanted to make her own animations, but she loved animating certain things. I would write short stories, and she would always animate some of the characters or some of the scenes from it. It was awesome.
That is amazing.
And I was and it just always made me happy to see. I wish I could get back in contact with her, because I wonder what she could do if I showed her all of the Fate things we have saved. If I sent her Fate, if she could animate all of the episodes or something. See what
that would be
maybe
super
not
cool.
All of them. That would be a lot of work.
Oh no!
It depends. I mean, if you put out an episode and it gets 5 million views, yeah, animate all.
Well, then we all would have to do voice acting and stuff, and remember, go back and see what we said and everything.
Well, no, I mean just animate the episode itself.
And then if we wanted to do voice acting, she could probably do that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I haven't been in contact with her for years. I don't even know. I remember her first name. I don't remember the last name.
Tails.
Well, she was in your high school, so you could just probably easily look her up on Facebook. Sorry.
And I do often use stuff y'all have done as examples of things for players.
Ooh.
And I'm be creative, try this out. I use the classic example. You're a vampire. There's a guy coming at you with a flamethrower. What do you do? He rocks and rolls. He crawls under the smoke, grabs the feet, and causes an explosion and rolls out of the way. I mean, was it the safest thing to do? No, but it worked, and that's what mattered.
What other examples of us did you use for that?
Oh goodness. How you guys will sometimes there'll be a huge fight that's planned, and you all will talk your way out of it. I mean, it's or Ronaldo, you all could have just easily beaten him up or something, but instead you all listened to him and helped you counseled the potential evil overlord.
We didn't question how he's going to hurt us. We questioned what hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. So, I use all as examples. I use, something I think would be very fun is, possibly, since you do record some of these, there's a sample dungeon for old school role-playing stuff called Tomb of the Serpent King. And it's basically just sort of a teaching dungeon. You just have pre-made characters, and you run through, and you kind of learn what not to do. And it's pretty hilarious because, it is, as I said, a teaching module, and it lets people, it lets you learn, and it teaches people who watch it. things about old school Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. It's kind of fun. So yeah, I mean, you guys are a fantastic group. You are one of my absolute favorite groups to run. So.
Aw.
Thank you so much.
And I, as you now found, I run for a lot. So-
Yeah, this is a lot.
and I
I bet
think
you say that
next,
to all the groups.
no. Actually, the other nice thing is I don't. I'm supposed to run one at Acon, in Dallas when it comes up, the anime convention.
Oh,
Oh yeah. I know you're talking
isn't
about.
that a huge convention?
Yeah, I've been invited to run a Fate game
Oh my god,
there. So.
that's so accurate.
And yeah, I was basically gonna run, something like using one of the Fate anime hacks. And so yeah, that should be loads of fun. And if you're ever there, come on out. You can sign up to be at my table.
I wish,
Well,
man.
I don't think I'd be able to do that.
Actually, shocking thing, you can get yourself the thing I'm starting to learn is if you just like Evil Hat or whatever publishing company, if you're willing to write something for them, they will sometimes pay for you to go to things.
Ooh, evil hat.
And it's going to be kind of neat because I'm kind of nervous because like people like Matthew Mercer have been to this thing before.
Oh,
And all this,
Wow.
and they're running games, and I'm going to be in the same place running games with them. I'm like,
Starstruck?
I can see how that would be intimidating.
yeah, it is a little intimidating because, like, hi,
Hello.
how are you guys?
Like I legit now want to go just for you.
Oh,
And I'll first, like, how I would come up, I'll just come up and be like, and then I throw up on you.
that would be perfect because I could throw up on you. I could then throw up on one of the celebrities. It'll be great. We'll both be asked to. We'll be standing outside covered in vomit, being like, "Huh, that happened."
No, but no, I just like,
I feel like Matthew
and Creed
Mercer
throws up
would
on you. I'm sorry. Blah.
Oh God, yes. I did talk about y'all's. Oh God, somebody was like, "Well, how do we start a distraction?" I don't know how to start a distraction.
Oh my gosh.
The story of Kristoff and Creed being undead and eating food and not spending the blood point and just projectile vomiting the food. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do. If I was to be able to go, I would just go up and like, and then Creed throws up on you. Blah. Hi.
Nice. Although I took it completely literally. I was throwing up on somebody else.
Yeah.
It was mass hysteria. But this is why I run games well. I just run with it, though you're being completely serious. And I think that's 99% of running games is just being able to keep up with people doing something ridiculous. You're just
like,
So true.
yeah, like running through a door that you think is the good exit ends up pulling out an alarm and causing a huge firefight.
yes, the firefight, stealing $7 million from the Russian mob.
Throwing yourself into cocaine.
and killing the Russian mafia's son.
Yes! Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I actually did too. Oh gosh.
I mean, it was like it's like, what are the tropes for bad things to happen to you in a crime movie? Creed has now done all of them. It's like you took the checklist. And we're like, yep, okay. Cool.
And it all good.
I'm going to
that was
call
fun.
the Godfather City a bad name to his face. Cool. Yeah. Got it all now.
Yep.
What was it? It was Zach and Creed that just started clapping at an attempted carjacking, and the two turned out those two guys just wanted money for PS4s.
Yes. Yes.
Because I remember Creed was just like, looks back like, what the fuck? And like, the kids are like terrified.
I love the part when like they were chasing was her name Ariana or
Adriana.
Adriana, yeah. I get the two mixed up. When they were when Creed and Kristoff were both chasing her, and like onlookers were like, those two are running and they're being followed by some gay dude, and then Kristoff was just like pretending to be possessed or something.
Oh yeah.
He talked his way out of it, saying, "Oh no, that it's nothing. We don't need to call the police or whatever." It was.
Yeah, we're filming a movie or a web series or something.
Yeah. That was great.
He was just straight up pretending to be possessed, and they're like, "Oh, acting kids."
That was perfect. I loved it.
I loved it.
That was a great performance.
Like I said, y'all are really fun. So
Yeah, you say you make things strange and weird for the players, but I think we as a group also make things weird and strange for you too.
oh, you absolutely do.
I think we make it more weird and strange than Tina makes it weird and strange for
And
us.
see, that's actually why I love characters so much. It's because like any other group, they're pretty like, I'm gonna hit the orc.
Oh yeah.
Y'all are like, I'm going to attempt to seduce the golem. What? Okay,
I'm just gonna pick up this box and use it. I'm just gonna pick up the coffin and use it to hide my genitals.
It's like, wait, guys. I'm gonna be the distraction while you just sneak behind it, grab it, and then we talk to him. What do you say?
that's right.
Like, I will try to seduce him while you guys turn around, like, go and grab this thing.
I think my favourite moment for Sarex has to be the when Sarex was the grandma. Oh sure, oh yeah, sure, yes. The council's full of cunts, aren't they? Anyway, goodbye.
Parkour's as to grandma.
My favorite.
Yes, Grandma Parkour was another memorable.
my favorite one for Winnie was when she talked to the Hydra and
basically,
I don't want to. Seduce is not the right word, but charmed it and
Yeah, she charmed.
Oh yeah.
while we snuck past.
I think my favorite moment was when I came into the session late, and
Oh yes.
I'm just like, I'm gonna take the dog thing.
Yes.
And it so much didn't work because of how the magic was doing at the time.
Yeah.
We did. That's because we didn't tell KU what's going to happen.
Well, that was because he arrived, like, he was part of the wild magic surge. He had arrived, and he's like, dog thing, zap.
And then he became the dog thing.
Yeah.
Running around, just like, what am I doing?
Oh,
Here's the corridor. Here's the hallway. The path is straight forward. We walk on the wall.
Wait. That makes me think about back, like, towards the end of the vampire game, where Kristoff and Creed got the power to crawl on walls.
Yeah.
Yes, y'all got the spider ability.
I adore the fact that shifters love Kristoff.
That was funny.
And now he has a totem to show he's an ally to all the shifters.
Yes, he does, and that's another thing. Probably when I run a 5th edition vampire game, because I'm supposed to do one of those in October, I am going to have Caroline be the prince of Atlanta, and and of course I'm setting up your characters as various important folks.
Oh my god!
I love that.
Yes.
Oh, that makes me so happy!
Man, I'm so happy to hear that too.
You have to tell us about this.
I will.
yeah.
Oh, I will. I definitely will.
Could you record
Oh my
it
God.
in some way?
I will ask. I'll ask the players if I can. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, that'd
I
be
would
awesome.
love to see your impression of Kristoff.
I want to see an impression of all of us.
Well, with Kristoff, the biggest thing is just to be just as bright and happy as you can be. Oh, hello. How are you doing? like Cthulhu comes and Kristoff's like, oh my, I wonder if it's friendly. And Creed's like, oh my god, what are you doing? And of course, Zach is always like, oh, really? That's what you're planning to do. You really should stop now.
And then it somehow works.
Well, Zach's technically the protege of the clan now, so.
I mean, yeah.
Well, yes, you're going to be the Tremere. So I get to play Zach as like, I'm super creepy and I know all the secrets.
Depending, no, that would be. Would it be imposing if we could come in and do our characters?
Oh my god!
I would love that. Actually, something that might be pretty fun is letting you all envision your characters with like 2 or 3 decades on them, and kind of running a game where you're in charge of the city.
Oh my god, easy! I already know what to do with Creed. It's so easy.
So I mean that could be like loads of fun.
That would be awesome.
You know, Kristoff's like.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, with all Adriana's kind of supernatural and occult stuff now that she.
Yeah, Zach is like Zach in many ways is the friendly face of Clan Tremere. Adriana is like the, if they bring you to me, it's over. I'm going to send you to some place you won't like, and you will never get out.
I would love to that you do our characters as NPCs.
I'm
Yes.
so excited to hear about this, and
Well,
hopefully also get recording if they are okay with it.
Oh yes, I'm hoping we get to. Like I said, I just have to ask. But yes, I am so happy that that you guys like the idea I'm using your characters as NPCs.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
oh my gosh, I can't wait for the stories.
I'm
like-
gonna have to re-listen to all of the Vampire the Masquerade ones.
Well,
I
they're
kind of
there.
want to myself. Yeah, I kind of want to.
It's kind of like being like in a series of games. Like in the first game, you play, you play like this certain character, and then the next game you find out that you're not going to be playing that same character, but they are going to show up as an NPC. It just makes you happy to see
Yeah,
them.
it really does.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if the saves import, they have done all of your decisions from the first game, so it's like literally your characters.
And you're just
right
sitting there squeeing as soon as they appear on screen.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, and I also did enjoy whenever we were doing kind of the couple of one-offs as the humans stalking our characters,
yeah, I really do like. And something I've thought about for weeks when people can't make it to D&D, this could be very fun. Is there's like a very simplified thing called Index Card RPG that's compatible with 5th edition, and having you all play peasants.
Who have been affected by our characters.
Either affected by your characters, or you will be playing the peasants who beg your characters for help the next session. Because remember, your characters are like highly trained, powerful individuals, and peasants are like, I got 10 freaking hit points, and that thing just ate Bob.
I love
Okay,
how
but-
this whole session, the go-to name for an NPC has been Bob.
Yes.
Specifically a weak one.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of interesting because I was reading, a friend of mine sent me something. There's an old book from a group called the Church of the Subgenius. And basically it's kind of a parody religion. And in it, J.R. Bob Dobbs creates the universe on June 3rd, 1971. So tomorrow's Universe Day. J.R. Bob Dobbs, a salesman from Dallas,
It's
and
the
created
same
the
day
universe.
my niece was born, so my niece is the universe, is what you're saying.
Nice. So anyway, yeah. So Bob creates the universe, and he's like a '50s guy with the pipe and the, he's like, "Hello there." He takes like various forms of giant spiders and weird creatures. So yes, Bob right now is on my
Is on your what? Sorry.
brain.
Makes sense.
Bob on the brain.
If I was playing a peasant, I'd probably go very Monty Python peasant. Oh, look at all this mud! Oh, let's get dirty in it.
Yeah, and that would be beautiful because I like the world of Greyhawk. I love it because like the Forgotten Realms is often like we're high fantasy and we are very serious, but the world of Greyhawk had room for like completely ridiculous stuff in it. Like when Gary Gygax built one dungeon, he just basically made the map look like 2 G's because he wanted to put his initials in it.
High elves coming over here thinking they're superior, taking our jobs.
That's beautiful. And considering you're in an elven, it'll be even better.
Ooh, I would play like a really scruffy dwarf.
Yes, absolutely. Scruffy dwarf.
What happened to human jobs for human workers, eh? We're being disenfranchised.
That's right. Yes, you could be the socialist old woman.
I didn't vote for you.
So yes, when we don't have enough for like a full party of adventurers to go through the whole thing, we will definitely give you guys a preview of the critter that's going to be terrorizing your characters through peasants.
That's great.
And there's even like a shabby loot table, which is just like crappy stuff you guys.
Oh my god.
And that's really the only way you level up is you find like cruddy little pieces of stuff. It's like, oh, I got a sword! Yay!
I got a spork.
I found tons of slugs.
Watch out, I'll stab you with my spork.
No, not the spork.
Oh, what kind of instrument's that? Oh, it looks very alien. A spook. It's a spoon and a fork. Oh, it's possessed. It's tainted. It's the devil.
Come yourself, woman.
You are a follower of Saint Cuthbert, aren't you? And I love that god, Saint Cuthbert of the Cudgel. Basically, he comes up and tells you to be good, and if you're good, he smacks you on the head with his club until you listen.
Or dead, whichever comes first.
Saint Cuthbert, everybody.
Thank God I wasn't holding that spork. It'd be called a witch.
Remember, it's not a witch if it's the same weight as a duck.
That's right.
Yeah?
All right.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, thank you all so much. I appreciate you playing, and I will see you all next week. And like I said, over the week, I'll kind of determine what I want to do. I mean, if we want to possibly put Fate on hold and do D&D for a while, this is a nice place to kind of pause it, because y'all are right now in a peaceful area, and I'm not going to destroy the world yet. So I'm thinking maybe D&D next week. What do y'all think?
That's up to everyone else if you want to finish the Fate game first. I do still need to really work with Chad though.
Yeah.
Which honestly,
well, actually, I will also be free to help Chad some. So he wants to play a druid, right?
Yeah, a halfling druid.
Okay, that's actually remarkably easy to build.
Oh yeah, I've already done like some of it, but I don't have like certain parts of information, so I couldn't really do the whole character sheet.
I totally understand.
Next Sunday's the 9th. Yes, yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay.
I'll I only get like 26 hours of work this week, which means I have more days off than normal. So it will give me time to do the final touches on my character sheet. So if we are going to do a D&D game this coming Sunday, I'll have it ready by then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. So let's do that. We'll do
Yeah, the only thing
D&D
I need to do.
Sunday.
Yeah, you got 2 hours more than me this week. Lucky you.
The only issue is that we were kind of planning to draw everybody's characters so we could all have tokens, which is gonna take longer than a week unless like we really rush it.
No, don't worry about the tokens too much because I'm still getting used to how to build stuff on Roll20. So there's not going to be a lot of complicated combat maps yet. But I do like one thing that you got me that's really freaking awesome is all the assets from something that's near where you all are going to start and at later levels will be very useful. You got me the assets for the Temple of Elemental Evil. Which is one of my absolute favorite dungeons of all time.
Which one was it? They were all named weirdly.
Hang on. No, I just recognized the. Honestly, I don't know how they're named. Recognize the tiles, and I'm like, oh, it's the Temple of Elemental Evil, because I am like a super nerd with this crap. So, I mean, and basically what TSR and later Wizards of the Coast did is they would build a dungeon, file the serial numbers off, throw different monsters in it, and oh look, it's that. So, it's one of those things. But God almighty, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for 30 years this year.
Oh, wow.
It's been a while. So anyway, yeah, I've pretty much seen all the D&D versions. Like, oh look.
Yeah, so maybe not D&D on next week. I just want to have like everything done, including like the tokens and all that.
Well, like I said, I'd like to try to start with the D&D thing, but we'll figure it out, and I'll figure out what I can run and what I can do. Okay. And if you need a couple weeks for the tokens,
We can always start off as the peasants.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yes, indeed. So I will make the D&D room. Actually, I'll make the D&D room, and then I will make the index card RPG room.